What up? Welcome to the Beneath the Dirt podcast, where we profile and showcase underground music while taking an occasional trip above the surface. I'm your host, Romebone. Thank you for tuning in. I debated on whether or not to make an episode this week. I came down with the flu. Today's actually the first day I feel kind of back to normal. I've been down all week. I missed the entire week of work. I had to cancel the Dark Lotus listening party for Wicked Shit Wednesday. I was running a really high fever, just not feeling good at all. Decided to cancel it. So my apologies for everybody that was gonna tune in to the Dark Lotus listening party. But sometimes you just gotta look out for yourself, and it is what it is. We'll have plenty of more listening parties. Wicked Shit Wednesday will be back this week, in effect. But let's get right into the news. Last Sunday, March 31st, Nipsey Hussle was murdered in cold blood right in front of his own fucking store by some fucking coward. I ain't even gonna say his name, even though his name is all over the news, everywhere in the hip-hop blogs, everywhere you see it. Fuck that guy. Fuck his bitch ass. R.I.P. to Nipsey Hussle, man. I did not see that one coming at all. I'm not going to front like I was a big Nipsey fan, but I was definitely a fan. I came on during Victory Lap. When that album dropped, I kept hearing great reviews for the album. So I went and checked it out. Ended up being my favorite rap album of last year. I talked about it on my year-end podcast where I wrapped up the year. Talked about my favorite albums. Easily the best rap album, in my opinion, put out last year. If you ain't checked it out, check it out. Nipsey Hussle, man. This dude had great fucking potential. Was doing a lot of work in his own community. Where he was killed, he owned that entire strip mall. He was employing his friends. He was actually meeting a friend who just got out of jail that day. Hooking him up with some brand new clothes so he can go visit his family at home. Looking all fresh, and that dude ended up getting shot as well. He survived. But man, I'm starting to go back now, listening to Nipsey's older shit, the Crenshaw mixtape, Slauson Boy, all that stuff. I love West Coast hip-hop. West Coast hip-hop is probably my favorite sound of hip-hop. I love the beats. I love that G-funk gangsta shit. I love the subject matter. I love the accents. Everything about West Coast hip-hop, man. I fucking love it. Nipsey repped that shit to the fullest. He was West Coast all day. And man, he leaves behind his family, his girl. He had a couple kids. And to just be taken out like that by some fucking bitch-ass coward is fucked up. Ain't right. You could be doing the right thing. You could be doing everything on the positive direction. And some negative shit like that could still happen. It's sad as fuck. Last year we lost Triple X. He was gunned down right in front of a fucking motorcycle shop. Cold blood, middle of the day. Same as Nipsey. Shot in the middle of the fucking day. It ain't the first time it's happened and ain't gonna be the last time, unfortunately. But people need to stop being on this bullshit. Fuck you kill that man for? Really? What the fuck did you kill that man for? I'll keep saying it, is a fucking coward. And this one kind of hurt. Although I'm a relatively new fan of Nipsey Hussle, I really enjoyed this dude's work. Victory Lap, man, still gets rotation. I had this shit on rotation while I was laid up on the couch sick all week, watching all his videos. Lauren London's like in all his videos, which is dope to see. He held her down. She held him down. All his videos, cinematic as fuck, like mini movies, some of them. Even his older videos, dope as hell. He did shit with YG. I love YG. My Crazy Life, Still Brazy, Stay Dangerous. Great albums. Nipsey always working with YG. YG vice versa. It's just sad to see. I don't know what else to say. But I wanted to make sure I took time out of my podcast, out of my show, to pay respects to Nipsey Hussle. The man deserves it. Dude was a West Coast beast on the mic. He knows how to pick music, pick the perfect beats, perfect guest features. And I want to give a moment of silence real quick right here, right now, on my show for Nipsey Hussle. R.I.P. Nipsey. You're gone, but you ain't forgotten, man. Now, it's kind of hard to talk about other shit that's been going down during the week. It's actually been kind of a slow news week in the underground. But the two things of note I'm going to talk about on here, this might be a shorter episode. I'm not feeling 100%, but fuck it. Last week I had Shanzi of Carnival Spirits on the show. We talked for about an hour. That was fun as hell. One of the topics that we talked about was ABK was not listed on the Psychopathic Records website as of this past Monday. The day after I recorded the show with Shanzi, ABK was put back up on psychopathicrecords.com under the artist section. So it looks like, in fact, ABK is on Psychopathic Records. Seeing him not on the website there for a few days was like, damn, man, it really came down to him not being on the label. And I was thinking, because he was working so intimately with M&E, Blaze doing the Drive-By album, Drive-By Juggalo Unity Tour. He's done M&E shows. I know he was at the Christmas show, I believe, possibly the New Year's Eve show. So seeing him on Psychopathic did hurt. You know, I was thinking maybe if he wasn't on Psychopathic that he would maybe jump the ship to M&E, even though he has his own Native World Inc. But I'm glad to see him still on Psychopathic. I want to see him put out the Shapeshifter album this year. Always Bringing Knowledge, his self-titled album. And then he got Tampon Juice coming. I don't know if all three will be on Psychopathic Records. That would be dope as fuck to see. I think we should get Shapeshifter on Psychopathic for sure. And Always Bringing Knowledge. Drop that on Psychopathic. Shit, drop all three. I don't care. I just want to see ABK on one of the majors in the underground. Psychopathic is one of the majors in the underground. Still, regardless of what some people might say, Psychopathic is still top dog in the underground. Fuck what you heard. So, ABK, still on Psychopathic. Dope to see. It was also announced this week, ABK and Big Hoodoo are going to be dropping the Have-Nots at the Gathering this year. So we're going to get a Have-Nots album on top of the 3 albums ABK is going to drop this year. So he's staying busy as fuck. That's dope as hell. Glad to see Killa busy. I mean, he dropped 3 killer feature albums last year. This year he's going to drop the Final Features album. That's what it'll be called, the Final Features. So dope to see ABK, Psychopathic, back on track, back working together. Dope as fuck. The other big story in the underground this week, Suburban Noise is officially coming back. I talked about it a few weeks ago on my podcast. D-Lo, Cottonmouth Kings, Chucky Chuck, they were posting some shit, hinting to a Suburban Noise comeback. They were posting the Spade, the SRH Spade, Stoners Wreaking Havoc. But it's official. It's been announced by Suburban Noise Records, SRH themselves, Cottonmouth Kings, D-Lo, J-Rick, Saint Dog, Chucky Chuck, underrated of formerly of Potluck. Not only are we going to get releases from Cottonmouth Kings, King Spades, Saint Dog, Chucky Chuck, underrated of Potluck, Big B, Head PE, Swollen Members, Saint Dog solo shit, Moonshine Bandits, are all projects we can expect from the upcoming relaunch of Suburban Noise Records. As dope as hell. I know D-Lo and Johnny Richter have been in the studio working on some shit. I'm not sure if it's King Spade. I'm not sure if it's the next Cottonmouth album. We're just going to have to wait and see. Chucky Chuck's dropping The Henchlord April 20th. Looking forward to that. His debut solo album. And he's got another project coming out, dropping on Suburban Noise Records. Big B's going to be dropping a new one. Big B's always good times. Big B always drops dope shit. Been a fan of Big B since High Class White Trash. Swollen Members. That got me super hyped. We haven't had a new Swollen Members album in quite a few years. Madchild steady been putting out solo shit. Prevail putting out solo shit here and there. But I want a full-fledged Swollen Members album. That would be dope as fuck. I look forward to hearing that. I mean, Madchild got his new solo album dropping. That'll be dropping on Suburban Noise Records. So Suburban Noise Records back in effect. Chucky Chuck is dropping. Madchild is dropping. Underrated and Garth Vader, they're dropping their Black Markets Matter album. I believe that'll be on Suburban Noise as well. Dope as fuck. Excited to hear it. Excited to see the relaunch. Are we going to get full-fledged tours? Are we going to get nationwide distribution again? How big is it going to get? Only time will tell. From what I can see, of the fans are excited. Got a few people throwing a little bit of shade. But me, myself, I'm excited for the shit. I'm a big Cottonmouth King supporter. Even with the controversy with the last album, people not getting their shit. It's time for fucking redemption. Time for you to redeem yourself. Deloc. Start over fresh with Suburban Noise. As I reported on probably the same episode where I speculated the Suburban Noise comeback, he distanced himself from the Kingmaker Music label, which is still putting out that new compilation featuring Chucky Chuck, Saint Dog, Underrated, among other underground acts. So Suburban Noise relaunch. I'm hyped for it. Dope as fuck. And to be honest, this is going to be a short as fuck episode this week. I really ain't got much to say, and I'm not feeling 100%. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you listen to me on iTunes, I get most of my listens on iTunes. If you could drop me a rating on iTunes, drop me a quick review, that would help me out, get my podcast more light, show up easier in the search engines and all that good stuff. The episode with Shanzi got a lot of plays, a lot of love. I didn't get a chance to upload it to YouTube yet. I'll be dropping that to YouTube. Same time I drop this episode to YouTube. So there will be YouTube activity this week. I was just sick as fuck last week, man. I haven't been that sick in a long fucking time. But I appreciate you sticking by me. Much love to everybody that checked in, showed the boys some love, the get well wishes. It's much appreciated. I appreciate the fuck out of every single one of you that tune in every week, all my loyal listeners, followers. Wicked Shit Wednesday will be in effect this week. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Even if I'm not 100% still, by Wednesday, Wicked Shit Wednesday will go down. Follow me on my socials. On Twitter, @Beneath Dirt. On Instagram, @Beneath Dirt. Facebook.com/Beneath Dirt 1. Find your favorite listening platform for my podcast at BeneathDirt.com. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.